Hi, this is Dr. Judith Ehrman-Shapiro, and I am 3 months out of my total left hip replacement. And I wanted to do a practice with you to show you how far along I've come and how far along maybe you can go after experiencing life-altering surgery, which has benefited me so much. So today we're going to do a standing practice of something called Shibashi, or the 18 forms. And this is something that I learned from Mimi Kuo Deemer, a wonderful, wonderful Qigong teacher. And so I'll share some of her ideas during this practice and some of my own as well. You can do this standing. You can also do it seated. If you do it seated, think about trying to do the arm movements and then at times positioning the feet in different ways as you're seated in the chair. And always remember to begin and maintain Wuji stance even when you are seated. So we'll begin with Wuji stance. Feet are beneath the shoulders, rising from the crown of the head. You might want to put a little tap in the crown of the head, just so you feel the shiver in your spine, rising from that point as your shoulders sink. Tip of the tongue goes to the roof of the mouth or just above the teeth. Very soft pressure for the tongue there. And then shoulders sinking with gravity, with space under the armpits, as if you're holding a robin's egg or a sparrow's egg underneath your armpits. And then cotton balls between the fingers, as if you're feeling a waterfall just flowing down Renmai, the front channel, flowing down the arms. Right in here, the inguinal joint is the qua. We're sitting in the qua, allowing the back spine to elongate without tucking. So you don't have to do something that energetic, just releasing from the bottom of the spine, yielding from the perineum towards the earth. And then aligning your knees over your feet, turning out the knees if you find them falling in. And then just feeling the full foot on the floor. I like to rock on my feet to acknowledge my big toe and my little toe, really spreading my toes out on the floor and becoming aware of the elegant arches in my feet, however shallow or deep they may be. Settling on my full feet, I feel the front of my toes and the back of my heel. I am rising and I am sinking. So right away, we're finding that embodiment principle of Chong, of center, of middle. I'm beginning to drop the breath into the body, down into the lower dantian. You can put your hands on your lower dantian, between the belly button and the top of the pelvis, the bottom of the pelvis. You can take a few strokes of the belly here just to feel grounding and centering. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, rising from the crown of the head. And then reversing that circle whenever you're ready. Just beginning to key into the energy flow of the body, noticing areas of tension and allowing the breath to drop into your belly. Shibashi is known as the 18 forms, and it's a combination of Tai Chi and Qigong put together for their health benefits, like lowering the blood pressure, easing stress, quieting the cortisol in the system, evening temperature and temperament, strengthening the body, developing lean muscle mass, mobility in the joints. And we start with this beautiful opening exercise called nourishing the chi. So we're going to inhale as we sink in the qua and exhale, rising from the crown of the head. It's that simple. tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Three more, just like this. Sensing the body in Wuji beginning in movement. Breathing in, I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am breathing out. So continuing with opening the lungs. I'll go to kitty corner here so you can see my hands. Inhaling and exhaling. So in these first three movements of Shibashi, I'm establishing presence in the body. I'm allowing myself to become aware of my presence in an embodied way. So we're opening the lungs here to accept the breath and being aware of the body rising, widening, and sinking. Feel free to slow down or to speed up. I'm going to slow down a little. This third form is called separating the clouds. So it doesn't matter which hand is on top, allowing your eyes to follow the arms, exhaling, returning to the weight in your feet. I like to switch which hand is in top. So inhaling to rise, exhaling to fall. Really imagining the separating of the clouds, allowing the mind to clear in presence. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, rising from the crown of the head, maintaining all parts of Wuji as we move. Emptiness, allowing the movement to fill our form. Stillness and movement. So this next movement begins our breathing series, and it's called Dancing the Rainbow. So as if you're holding the ends of the rainbow in your hands. I like to do this with a nice wide stance. So we're going to inhale, expanding one side of the body as we condense the other. Exhale. Allow the form to fill. Inhale to expand. Exhale. So here, just really feeling the bilateral lungs. Opening the side of the body. So if for any reason your knees don't feel good doing this, you can really take it mostly in the upper body. I'll show you that version. It's really important to honor your own body, your own range of motion in these forms. And you can go as deep. I'll show you a deep form now. I get to show off my hip. Even take a wider stance. And now we're going to move into a form called rolling the ball. So beginning by holding the ball, again, I'll kitty corner so you can really see what I'm doing. Holding the ball around throat level, coming through your Wuji stance. What we're going to do is roll as we inhale and open the ball, come up and over. As you exhale, rolling the ball back. And then just going side to side. Again, acknowledging the bilateral filling of the lungs as we acknowledge left and right. And really developing chit, as they would say in yoga. Sorry for the fusion there, but awareness, just observing witness of the body. So softening as you go through these movements, slowing and softening, feeling the ball expand and contract with the breath. Let's do one more time, each side. So this next beautiful form is called rowing the boat in the heart of the lake. So imagining you're in a rowboat and you've already done the work, you've already rowed out into the middle of the lake. And here you're just going to tread lightly. Maybe there's a reflection. I always imagine a full moon here. So inhaling, exhaling, allowing the form to fill. For some reason, when I do Shibashi, I often want to breathe in the inverse way. Like you would think this would be exhale, but very often condensing, I'm inhaling, filling as I exhale. Do what feels right to you. That's what's important. Or breathe naturally if controlling your breath is not good. And again, you can do a smaller seated version of this that's largely taken in the arms. Or you can do a nice full-bodied row and really feel the strength of the legs, the back, and the shoulders. Just finding your way. In Qigong, more is not better. In fact, if you can't do it slowly, don't do it, my teacher says. Keep breathing. Don't over-muscle your movement. Rowing the boat in the heart of the lake. Just feeling the breath fill your body and exit your body with as little effort as you can make. So we're going to begin a section now, which Mimi describes as using the embodiment principle of Chen. And Chen is rooting to rise. So here, one hand is going to come to my kidney. You could be palm up or palm down, depending on the rotation of your shoulder. And this is called lifting the ball. So notice I'm sinking, transferring, I'm rooting. And then from that rooting, I'm going to rise, putting most of the weight posted onto my receiving leg. So notice I'm not arching here. I'm just coming to rise to the center of my head. And then as I inhale, I'm going to switch arms. And as I exhale, and you may feel the breath differently, just alternate your breath in this way. And her suggestion is, as we root to rise, you play with the lightness of the ball. So this isn't heavy, it's light, called lifting the ball. Rooting, transferring, rising, exchanging the breath, exchanging the intention, rooting, transferring, rising. One more time, each side. So now I'll begin looking at the moon. So I'm going to add my arm and continue my lower body rooting, transferring, and rising. I'm going to allow myself to come into a little bit of rotation. If that feels okay to you in your back, it's quite beneficial. If you can't, you can leave it to the side. And here my arms stay equidistant, and I'm practicing Chen. Rooting, transferring, and rising. Let's do two more. So now we're going to move into a very subtle form of Chen called pushing at the waist. So I'm dropping my arms down to the waist area, and it's as if I'm pulling someone and I'm pushing at the same time. This does not happen in my hips, it just happens in my waist. But the principle is the same. So I exchange breath before I push. I'm breathing out or in here, whichever feels best for you. And I'm staying at waist level here, but I'm still rooting, rising through the crown of the head. For me, I feel something very deeply integrative with this movement as I pull it to its very subtle form into the center of my body. So I'm feeling my liver here, I'm feeling my kidney, even though I'm not fully rotating, just at the waist. So again, I'm inhaling or exhaling here, inhaling or exhaling here. Nice, easy, even breath exchange. Sinking in the shoulders, allowing Dantian and Mingmen to really, it's not so much that your arms move, it's that the Dantian moves, the torso moves, and the body follows. Let's do two more just like this. And now I love how this expands. So I'm going to invite now my hips back into the process, and I'm going to open up to cloud hands. That's all I'm doing. Essentially the same movement, but now as if the cloud holds between my hands. So those of you who practice Tai Chi and Qigong know this beautiful meditative exercise of cloud hands, yin and yang, and feeling free to play with this. Like maybe your cloud is narrow and wispy. Maybe it's big and thunderous. But really feeling that principle of Chen now. My lower body is rooted and grounded, allowing my upper body to float and expand, top of the head towards the sky. I always like to exhale as I span, but sometimes inhaling here is very supportive of the core. So you do what feels best for you. Here's the exchange of breath, inhaling or exhaling, and here's the carry of the breath. So for me, I like to inhale and change, exhale and move. But you may like it another way, and that's perfectly all right. One more time back. And then we're beginning the next section of Shibashi, which involves taking a bow stance. So again, I'm going to kitty corner to you so you can see what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm just taking a comfortable step forward. And the movement of bow stance goes from knee to knee. This is such a beautiful section here. So you can begin by making sure you feel comfortable here in your bow stance. You can do this straight out at me so you can watch what I'm doing. You don't have to kitty corner. I just want you to see my front leg and my back leg. And this section is about son, or relaxed movement without collapsing. So it's not the kind of relaxation on the couch. It's the kind of relaxation where we're present and aware and rising, but it's perfectly relaxed. This first movement is touching the sea, looking at the sky. And notice the way that I do this is by bending my front knee, touching the sea, looking at the sky. My eyes are gently following where I'm going. The yi follows, the chi goes where the yi goes. So where your attention flows, your energy opens. What arm crosses in front is up to you. You know, I like to alternate. That's the dancer in me. I like to train both sides of my body. Sky, water, standing firmly on the ground, practicing son. Let's do two more just like this. And then all I'm going to do is alternate to the other side. So you can switch which leg is in front and then continue your practice. Looking at the sea, looking at the sky, or touching the sea, like your hands drag through water, looking at the sky. Notice that I'm staying pretty straight in my spine, so I'm not hung over. I'm maintaining my form even as I come forward and even as I come back. So this is not straining my back. It's actually my legs and my hips doing the work. I'm practicing relaxed but not collapsed. Let's see if we can slow it down for one time. And of course, you should go with the rhythm of your breath, just inviting that slowness. Now, the next thing we're going to do, still staying in bow stance, so switching to the other side. I love this one. This is the wings of the dove. So now I'm really transferring my weight forward so that the 90% of my weight is on my front leg. So I'm here. As I go back in my bow stance, I'm going to lift my toe and open my wings. So I'm transferring all the way up into my front foot, lifting my heel on my back foot, and all the way back so I can lift the toe. And I'm just allowing my arms to meet center without touching, and allowing them to open and expand back. Opening my lungs up. So many beautiful things happening in this movement. The body moving in harmony. The strengthening of the arms and shoulders, the hips, the legs, and the spine. Moving from Dantian, your core. So here, Dantian pulls back. Mingmen is pulling back. My body is opening. And then just feeling where you're naturally inhaling and exhaling, directing your breath. Next time I come back, I'm going to pull my front foot back, step forward, and continue. So off of my heel in the back, on, lifting the toe. That's the dancer in me. I want to point something, right? Point through my toes. Wrong movement. So feel or witness the difference for you, left and right. I'm healing my hip right now, but I feel such strength because of the correction they gave me. Just integrating it through my body through Qigong. Let's do two more. Let's slow it down. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that easy transfer of weight and song, or relaxed movement with form. So we're going to switch next time we come back for the next movement. And here's where we're going to take the subtle form, just like we took the subtle form of Chen. And this is called pushing the waves. So here I am in my bow stance, and like the lapping of waves on the shore, I want to show you that my feet are both going to stay connected. The wave comes in and the wave comes out, very subtly with my breath. You can take as wide a bow stance or as narrow as you need here. Letting one way, I'm inhaling and exhaling. I gotta get it out of my shoulders. So maintaining my Wuji stance. The power here is subtle. It's like the waves lapping at the shore and forming the land, eroding with gentle, peaceful qi, movement, and energy. You don't have to shout at people to get your way. Just go about what you do. This is called pushing the waves. Feel the yang phase and the yin phase. When you're ready, we'll switch to the other side and continue. Both feet staying connected to the ground, rising from the crown of the head. This is the motivator of your movement. The hands follow. And then the last movement in our song section, the feet are closer together, right under the body. And this is the flying of the wild geese. So we're inhaling to rise vertically upwards and exhaling to return. Just going with the flow of your breath. Relaxed but not collapsed. Mimi Quodimer talks about you're moving from the root of the arm. So here you're moving more proximally, closer to the body, instead of letting the hand be the leader. So really working from the root of the shoulders, feeling the full foot on the floor. It's okay to stand a little wider if that feels more comfortable to you. Just allowing the movement to describe the breath that comes in and out. Let's do 3 more just like this. And then in the last section of Shibashi, I'm going to take fists. I'm going to drill my fists. I think sometimes I see people without the drilling of the fist, just pushing the fist forward. Let me kitty corner so you can see a little better. I'm always, I like to drill, do a little bit of drilling here of the fist. But what we're going to do is practice reverse breathing. The embodiment principle here is Qigong, which is finding center. And the calligraphy is of a rectangular sail, like a sailboat, and the mast with the mast right in the center. And I love that image. So it's finding center body. So here what we're going to do is drilling or pushing your palms forward slowly. What we're going to do is inhale up into the chest, keeping that breath high. As you push your palm or drill your palm, you're going to lower a little, drop the breath into your belly. And if you want, so inhaling high up in the chest, you can do hung ha breathing. So I'm just going to show you, my mouth is closed. Inhaling. As I exhale, I'm actually removing the tongue from the roof of my mouth and opening into the breath. So inhaling, tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, high up in the chest. Exhaling, allowing that breath to come away. Inhaling, tip of the tongue comes back to the roof of the mouth, high up in the chest. Exhaling, finding center, dropping the breath into the body. Inhale, tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Exhale, tongue falls away, breath drops into the belly. And continuing. Us practicing this liver healing movement. Reverse breathing, breathing up into the top of the chest, dropping into dantian, the lower dantian. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. One more time each side. Dropping the breath into the belly. And one more time in. Releasing the palms, releasing the hands. Let's give a little wild horse shaking here. Just a little bit of gentle wild horse shaking. That's not in Shibashi. That was for me. So this is by far my favorite movement of the whole set, and it's turning the flying wheel. And I almost feel like everything we've done prepares us for this movement here. So as if you're holding the wheel of a sailing vessel, a big wheel. We're gonna inhale. One hand crosses the other, so we're keeping the wheel flat. We're coming up and over, down to the other side. Here's that second cross of the arms so that we can hang. And we're gonna do 6 more times. Inhaling. And when you're ready, exhaling. Allowing your breath to be natural so you can feel how the breath wants to assist the movement naturally for you. Not rushing, feeling the strength of your legs, your back, your spine. Again, I'm not curling the spine. And again, if your back is troublesome at all or prefers narrower, you don't have to go down to your feet. You can turn the flying wheel just like this. Or you can do full range of motion. Let's do 3 more in this direction. Finding the middle of the circle, allowing the circle to turn around. Let's stop up this time and reverse the wheel. Arms cross here. Arms cross here to remain a flattened wheel, turning the flying wheel. You don't have to over grip on the wheel. Nice light presence through the fists. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, just breathing normally here. Let's go 3 more times. We're keeping the hands equidistant, so we're not letting them falling apart here. Last time, all the way around. I think of the cycle of the seasons and the cycle of life. the cycle of healing and injury. And then drawing to your full height, making sure you're still in your Wuji stance. We're going to do, this is called the bouncing ball. So we inhale and exhale. Feeling the center line of the body. It's natural to try to go a little faster here because we are working with balance. So remember that you can always hold on to something or hold on to a wall. You can do this seated. You can just bring the foot up to the toe if your balance is not feeling too good, so that you're just shifting the weight, but you're maintaining your balance. And eventually bringing yourself to where you can evenly move the knee and the hand together. I'm going to slow down a little because I'm finally strong enough to slow down. My hip flexors are coming back after my hip replacement. Whoops. So this helps me in my healing because I'm asking my hip flexors to fire and maintain their strength. You can see how I'm struggling a little. I'm actually struggling the more I think about it, so I'm not going to think about it. Let's do a few more each side. Feeling your breath marry with the movement. That vibrant, energetic, yang movement. I think I'm moving towards you. And our final movement of Shibashi is gathering the peaceful chi and just allowing it to fill in the body, coming back down to Dantian. This will be our closing movement as well. Pouring the cream on top, soaking up that peaceful chi into the body. Myself as I am, the world as it is. 2 more just like this. Ending our practice of the 18 forms, Shibashi. So I'm taking my non-dominant hand and covering it with my dominant hand. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.